stall out them pint bottles out Granny crib. I poured so much I ain't want to live. Told money then, shit, we in the wind. I was in the hood when I clipped the bin. Since a young nigga, I been ready. Went glass house on every Chevy. In this game, I tried plenty settings. It's all or nothing. How niggas been. Got sucker niggas, keep suckers with them. One of the reasons I ain't fucking with them. Trish taking some more than her. Guess she couldn't even afford a winner. I'm open late, don't need a scale, and it's always over. Sneak wishing well, I double down, slick shit to spell. Shawty know I don't kiss and tell. I'm faded, 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 faded. I'm faded, 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 faded. And I'm faded, 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 faded. I'm faded, 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 faded. I'm a saint, but I sin. I checked in the game to win. I left, she loving me again. I let her cry out the bins, and they say time heal. Mine still felt like it was yesterday. How we're moving fast, probably too fast to even catch the play. Spend some night, she pack a bag, right to me, just getting gas. Coming back, I want it bad. I'ma touch it first, eat it last. It's temporary. Holly damn emotion said it's temporary. My pain deeper than the ocean. Temporary feelings mixed with temporary pleasures. All these temporary moments and these temporary treasures. Temporary circumstances, temporary measures. Temporary friends and even temporary schedules. Temporary smiles and temporary goals. Temporary women sliding on temporary poles. Temporary comments and temporary trolls. I just pray that God bless me. Ain't no temporary souls. I'm a saint, but I sin. I checked in the game to win. I left, she loving me again. I let her cry out the bins, and they say time heal. Mine still felt like it was yesterday. How we're moving fast, probably too fast to even catch the play. Spend some night, she pack a bag, right to me, just getting gas. Coming back, I want it bad. I'ma touch it first, eat it last. It's temporary. Holly damn emotion said it's temporary. My pain deeper than the ocean.
Alright, chat. What we doing tonight, chat? Y'all about ready? What we doing tonight? We locked or what, chat? We locked or what, man? It's a damn holiday, man. What we doing, chat? We locked?
Welcome to the greatest damn show on YouTube.
Yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about, man. I need everybody locked in, man.
Welcome to the greatest damn show on YouTube.
That's what I'm talking about. Oh, man. Double tap the screen, shut a live out. What we doing tonight, chat? Double tap the screen, shut a live out. What we doing tonight, chat? They say Dom Lemon just made millions of enemies. Trump DOJ after him. Greenland or the Nobel Peace Prize. And we gonna cover Miss Renee good. Double tap the screen, shut a live out. Call your auntie, uncle, and your cousin. Tell them plug live and he running his mouth. I don't care if you far left, far right, liberal, conservative, Marxist, fascist, alien, NPC, get your ass in. We finna have a conversation tonight, man. Chat, we got an action-packed episode, man. We gonna get into this Dom Lemon, man. I think he was beefing with Nicki Minaj. We got the DOJ coming out saying he's on watch, talking about hitting them with the under the KKK Act for inciting a church raid, man. It's a lot going on. Also, we got the New York Stock Exchange to launch 24/7 U.S. stock trading through on-chain tokenized exchange, man. I don't think Trump's very happy about that. I think he came at Mom Donnie about that as well. Also, we have miscellaneous clips of people saying they're going to quit their job because they're not working for ICE supporters. We have Nick Sorter and his $1,000 camera being hijacked, man. Yeah, chat, this is crazy. Also, we got James Fishback, and I forgot the woman's name. What was the woman's name that's been getting into it with James Fishback, man? What is that woman's name? Christina Pushaw. Christina Pushaw and James Fishback. You know James Fishback is running for governor down there in Florida. They got a whole lot going on over there as well. Yeah, chat. Oh, Myron went to the University of Michigan and debated about the Miss Renee Goods unaliving. We also got a Pierce Morgan, Nick Shirley on Pierce Morgan the other day. I didn't get to watch that. Also, Mom Donnie bringing public bathrooms to the city of New York. How do y'all feel about Mom Donnie bringing public bathrooms to the city of New York, chat? Double tap the screen, shut a live out. Oh, yeah, we got some more clips too, chat. I forgot. We got a lot to cover. We got an action-packed episode. Lock in. We finna hang out tonight, chat. We finna hang out tonight. Nick Shirley was also going to Andrew I forgot his name, man. Anyways, the guy from Channel 5, Nick Shirley's pretty pissed at him. This lady that I have right here, that we're about to get into first, she's the one that says she called ICE on a Jamaican restaurant, man, and 3 weeks later, they ass was deported. Now, I've been in a few Jamaican restaurants, African restaurants, and they kind of rush me the hell up out of there like they don't want my business, but the food's always good, you know, so I don't complain. I get my damn plate. Sometimes I get in the car and go home. Sometimes I sit the fuck down and eat in there. You know, it is what it is. But let's get into it, man. See what the hell happened with her. She said she called ICE on a Jamaican restaurant, and 3 weeks later, they ass was deported, chat. Is she wrong, chat? Put yes or no in the chat. Is this woman wrong?
I called ICE on somebody. This Jamaican lady.
What's up, guys? Check out this video.
Yeah, I called ICE on somebody. This Jamaican lady, she has this restaurant. I can't tell you what town it's in, but very nasty attitude. I went in to buy a dinner about 3 weeks ago, and she gave me some burnt up rice. Now, I paid about $27 for this dinner, and I had 2 side orders. She gave me some burned up rice and some nasty piece of chicken. The chicken tastes rotten. Now, when I got to my car and opened up the meal, the container was stinking. Okay? That's how rotten the food was.
And
so
you still ate it?
I went inside and politely asked her for another plate because the food was not adequate. And I told her what was wrong with the food. So she got very loud, very nasty, very, very nasty lady. Instead of just taking the food back, making me another plate. I didn't eat it, hardly anything out of it. Instead of her being a nice business owner, making the customer happy, she decides to curse me out like a dog. Her attitude was so nasty, very nasty. So I already figured she was in this country illegally because she has this heavy accent. I can tell. I knew that she was here illegally, her and her husband, and I'm saying if you're going to be here illegally in this country, you can at least be humble about it, okay? And be nice to people. Because people can call ICE on you like I did her ass. So what ended up happening is she refused to give me another dinner, so I ended up losing my money. But I'm not the type of person to argue with people or anything like that. So I just took it as a loss. I said never again. But anyway, I got angry about it when I went home. I thought about it. So I called the ICE hotline. Now, I have never done this to anybody. There's a lot of people I could do this to. But I don't have a reason to call ICE on people if they're nice to me and they're doing what they're supposed to do. I have no reason to do that to anybody. But this woman was so nasty to me. I just had to get her. So I called the ICE hotline. And I told them that there are some illegal Jamaican people at this location working in a restaurant. Guess what happened? Now, that was 3 weeks ago. I drove by there today, and they are no longer there. No longer there. So I just happened to ask this man that was in the business right next to this Jamaican spot. I asked him, I said, what happened to that Jamaican restaurant that was right next door to your business? And he said, oh, a bunch of ICE agents came in there last week and, you know, they were illegal here and they got deported. That's what happened. So I was thinking, okay, all right, thank you. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, see, that's what you get for being nasty to people. So if you were in this country illegally, you better be humble and you better be grateful and you better be respectful towards Americans. That's all I'm going to say to you. Because the same thing can happen to you. All you got to do is get on that phone and call that ICE hotline number. Okay? It's on Google. And they will come there and they will investigate. But she got what she deserved. Just being nasty. She didn't have to be nasty to me like that. But I got her ass. So, good riddance.
She said she said she went and ordered the food from the Jamaican restaurant. The rice was burnt. The food smelled old and rotten. So she goes in and asks for, a different plate. She says the woman gets real nasty, cusses her out. So she just left and got home, thought about it, got mad, called the ICE hotline on her. 3 weeks later, she rides by there. Nobody's there. She asked the neighbors what happened. The neighbors said, look, ICE came through this motherfucker last week and took everybody. So now she's telling people to be humble. If you're in this country illegally, be humble or you can get ICE called on your ass. So chat, I'm going to ask you, do you feel like this woman is entitled or do you feel like she's just trying to get what she deserves, man? Is this woman entitled or is she just trying to get what she deserves? This next clip right here, chat, double tap the screen, shut a live out with 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. We go live every single day over here talking politics, entertainment, and current events. This next clip right here is a lady. She says she's about to quit her damn job because she can't work for somebody who supports ICE, man.
I'm going to quit my job on Monday. And granted, this is something I cannot afford to do. And
don't do it. If you can't afford to do it, don't do it.
It's also a job that I fucking love. I love this job so much, and it's going to break my heart. The owner of this place that I work, she supports Donald Trump and ICE and refuses to back down on it. She voted, and I've just been holding my tongue so bad because I love this job, and obviously I need the money. What the fuck am I going to do? I don't know, but I have to quit my job. I'm going to document it. I'm going to record it and post it, and it's going to be awful, but I refuse to look back on this time in history and say that I didn't do every single thing I can to not support anyone who supports this. I have to be on the right side of the history books, and I can't. Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. She dumb as hell for that, chat. I'm not gonna lie. She has morals. She has standards. She has all of that. But she's about to put her damn survival on the line, man. Just go out here butt naked. Said she needs the job. She needs the money. She loves the job. Doesn't have anything lined up, backup plan. She just finna quit this motherfucker because her boss voted for Trump. Yeah, Chad, I'm a black man in America. If I quit every job or just turn down everything going on because of, how people voted or who likes, I wouldn't be able to go no fucking where. I'm a black man from the deep south. Like, let's be honest, man. I wouldn't be able to go no fucking where. I wouldn't be able to eat no chicken. I wouldn't be able to get gas at the gas station. I wouldn't be... Think about, do y'all think Sam Walton and them just was liking niggas like that, man? Like, let's be honest, bro. I'm a black man from the deep south, man. This shit is crazy, man. This woman talking about she's about to quit her damn job, chat. Because her boss voted for ICE. You said when you're involved with the crime, someone and you tell on them that's snitching. Yeah, she's fucking tripping, bro. She dumb as hell for this shit. Moving on, no, chat. I just wanted to bring y'all that. Moving on. They say this lady right here is spot on. They say every time something comes up with the Epstein files, the Minnesota cracks up, man. The Minnesota cranks up. The violence cranks up. The rhetoric cranks up. And let's hear from her. Who sent me this in Discord?
It continues. It's even worse. I just spent hours listening to another testimony. And when the testimony came out just in the last few days, that's when they pump up the Minnesota. Pump up the Minnesota. Beat a few more people up. Kill a few more people. Get everybody to look over there. Don't look. And again, I'm not talking about just trafficking. I'm talking about outrageous snuff films.
So she's saying there's snuff films, chat. Now, this is a first for me. She said she just listened to how many hours of testimony? She said she just got through listening to testimony, and it's not just about the, essay and the trafficking, man. She says that these are no holds barred snuff films, man. What the hell is going on, man? Listen to this lady, man. I didn't know they had snuff films and shit going on over there, man. What the hell is going on?
It continues. It's even worse. I just spent hours listening to another testimony. And when the testimony came out just in the last few days, that's when they pump up the Minnesota. Pump up the Minnesota. Beat a few more people up. Kill a few more people. Get everybody to look over there. Don't look. And again, I'm not talking about just trafficking. I'm talking about outrageous snuff films. Murdering young, I would say, children, youth. They're supposed to be graveyards.
Graveyards, man. And I'm going to keep it honest, chat. When it comes to this graveyard shit, they said they were getting ready for the World Cup or whatever down there in Mexico. They found allegedly 400 bodies. They said that penitentiary in Mississippi, they found all those bodies behind there. We just seen the underground bunker with kids from all different kind of ages get caught down there in Alabama. Now this woman is talking about it's supposed to be graveyards, man. Damn graveyards of missing damn children, bro. This shit is crazy.
Youth, they're supposed to be graveyards. Filled with missing kids, and no one knew who they were. I know I sound like a crazy person, I know, but it's not. There is a testimony, Sasha Riley. I ask people to go and investigate and listen to it yourself. There are some issues.
Yeah, it's getting spooky, man. H Buster, what it do? Dorsey, what it do? I see you, Chris, man. This shit is crazy, man. Now, when it comes to what she just said as far as the snuff films, the graveyards of the missing children and shit, man, we've been hearing about these missing kids for a long time, since at least 2016, especially in the DMV area. There's been a lot of missing women and children in the DMV area. Then we just heard about the border being wide open, 20 million people, man. Kids coming over the border with different color wristbands as far as where the hell they supposed to go. We thought it was just, essay and those kind of atrocities. But according to this woman, if we listen to the testimonies, it's some snuff film and some damn graveyards around here somewhere, chat. This shit is crazy, man. This shit is crazy, man. Let's get on, man. Let's get on, chat. Where is it at? That shit is crazy, chat. I'm not gonna lie, man. Oh my gosh, man. All right, this is that one lady. I forget her name, but she goes around on college campuses doing what Charlie Kirk does. This woman right here, she was into it with a woman who said Charlie Kirk deserved to die. And the lady was like, hey, well, I do the same thing he did. Do I deserve to die? The woman was like, shit, fuck it. Maybe, probably. I'm talking about, she said it so quick, chat. I was like, damn. Oh, they're not going to pull it up. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. They're not gonna pull it up, Chad. There's no way they deleted the video already. Sometimes they delete my videos, Chad. Here you go.
His name was?
Charlie Kirk, ma'am?
Yeah, him is horrible. Horrible.
Charlie Kirk is horrible?
Yes, I'm glad he's not here.
You're glad he's dead?
Yes.
Why would you say something like that, ma'am?
Because he was horrible on the campuses, the college campuses. Horrible person.
You know what? I do the exact same thing.
Well,
would you be glad if I would die?
Maybe. I'd have to think about it.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Your friend just said she'd be happy if I...
She said, would you be happy if I died? She said, maybe. Hey, one thing about it, chat. The older you get, the less fucks you give, bro. I'm just going to be all the way honest, man. OGs out here are keeping it a bean. She wasted no time. She wasted 0 seconds, man. Would you be happy if I died? Maybe. Like, she didn't even think about it. Like, probably.
If I would die?
Maybe.
Shit.
I'd have to think about it.
You should be ashamed of...
I'd have to think about it. Maybe. I'd have to think about it.
It's horrible. Horrible.
Charlie Kirk is horrible?
Yes, I'm glad he's not here.
You're glad he's dead?
Yes.
Why would you say something like that, ma'am?
Because he was horrible on the campuses, the college campuses. Horrible person.
You know what? I do the exact same thing.
Well, I'm
Would
so
you be
sorry.
glad if I would die?
Maybe. I'd have to think about it.
You should be ashamed of
You
yourself.
should be ashamed of yourself.
Your friend just said she'd be happy if I died.
Shit, Chad. I'm not gonna lie, man. They saying, what do the girls call this shit? Reading each other, man. They saying that's the craziest read of 2026 so far, man. I'm not gonna lie, Chad. That old lady just talked crazy to that woman. But here we have another delusional woman. She's saying that men are no longer needed for reproduction, so she just plans on reproducing with females and creating females until there's only a female world, I guess, man. I don't know. She's kind of fucking, she's delusional, bro. It's not even a kinda to it, bro.
With some knowledge about why men are so terrified right now.
And and then she's saying that this is why men are terrified right now. I'm just gonna tell you, lady, I'm a man. I've only been a man. I've been a man for a long ass time. I got some friends, they're men. I got some associates, they're men. Not once have I ever heard a man say, we're terrified because females are about to go reproduce on their own. What? I'm more scared of waking up and walking through my house in the dark and stumping my toe than I am of females getting together and just reproducing and phasing men off the face of the earth, man. I promise you, stumping that big toe on the coffee table terrifies me a lot more than that, man.
Studies have been conducted that women can make babies with other women without men. Yes, you heard that right. We do not need anything from a man to create a baby. The result? We will only have women children. So now let's talk about evolution. Women have had to survive in the society we live in today because of the threats of violence against us. So as we evolve, we become more consciously aware of what is actually happening to us in order to survive. And this deep-rooted consciousness that is happening with women all over the world, and I mean all over the world, is absolutely terrifying to the male species. They have used power and control in order to shut us up and put us in a corner. But what they don't understand is that we are too conscious. We have become too conscious, and you can't take consciousness away from it.
What the fuck does consciousness have to do with reproduction, man? You started this video off saying that men are terrified because of evolution, women can reproduce, and they'll only reproduce women. Now you all the way over here on some consciousness shit. Like, what? Lady, I'm going to need you to get it together. I'm going to need you to put all of your feelings in one fucking box for us so we can kind of get through this shit here. Because I don't know where you're going with this, man. You're all over the place. You got a damn boosie fade, man. I like this shirt, the zip up, whatever, the quarter zip, man. That shit's nice. But what you're talking about is damn irrelevant. Nobody's scared of that shit, bro. Because it's not going to happen. I'm just going to be all the way honest, man. Without some soldiers marching, your ass is grass, man. Your ass is grass. Now, Elon might be having these Tesla bots out here pregnant or something, man, but I don't know, bro. I think this lady has lost a marble or two, man. We're going to ask her to get her damn marbles and put them back in the little knapsack or whatever the hell they call it and just pull the strings, man. We need you to get all your marbles together and just put them back in the fucking bag, man.
Now, in order for the male species to survive, they must evolve too. And this is absolutely terrifying to them because they've lived in the comforts of their safety for so long. And as we bring consciousness to the male species, they now understand that women actually hold all of the power. Women decide whether the universe procreates and continues. So I say all of this to really say it's time to evolve. Each and every one of us. It's time to evolve and make this world a better place.
I feel like she just wasting my time, bro. I feel like that bitch just wasting my time, bro. I'm not gonna lie, chat. I'm not gonna lie, chat. I feel like she just she got down on us, didn't she? I haven't felt played watching a clip in a long time, but I feel played right now. I'm not gonna lie, chat. I feel played. I had only watched like 10 seconds of it, but I don't know, bro. She's crazy, bro. She's crazy. All right, so this is I know a lot of y'all told me to go watch that Nick Shirley interview where he sat down with Channel 5. But he's having some complaints about it. He has some grievances about that interview. So this is Nick Shirley talking about the dark side of interviews, man. He sat down with Andrew on Channel 5, and he said Andrew didn't keep that shit a buck, man. He said Andrew cut down a 2.5-hour interview into 1 hour and made him look as bad as possible, man. It's crazy.
And I also learned a great lesson here. So the other week, I sat down with Andrew Callahan in Channel 5 to do a sit-down podcast-style interview for his channel. And when he goes and posts the video, I see he just posted an hour-long interview. I said, well, that's weird, because we actually spoke for around 2.5 hours. And then I go and watch the interview, and I'm saying, well, what is this? This is not what happened. For instance, this clip right here.
What American city is prospering right now?
Austin.
Austin? Name another one.
El Paso, Texas.
El Paso, Texas is prospering.
Yeah. Nashville's doing good. Phoenix is doing good. Basically, any place with low state tax is getting a lot of.
In any place that's not Democrat.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean,
name a Democrat city that's prospering right now.
Well, it would have to be one that's affordable.
Name one.
Denver.
Why are you smirking? It's not prospering.
All right, so that's the clip Andrew posted, but this is the actual interaction of how it went.
Denver. Why are you smirking?
Because I don't know if it's prospering.
It's not. See, you can't even answer the question. It's not prospering. Denver's not prospering either.
I agree that Democrat-run states are doing badly.
Kind of weird that Andrew didn't put that in, right? Maybe his base or something would not be happy with that response because he obviously got caught lying. And anyways, let's move over to the next topic when we're talking about Somalians being known for pirating, as 89% of the fraud that has been charged inside of Minnesota is by Somalians. This is the interaction that Andrew posted.
Somali community, or do you see it as both?
89% of the fraud is being committed by Somalians.
Where exactly is that statistic from?
You can pull it up on the screen. You'll find it.
I just want to know where it's from.
You want me to find it right now?
For sure, just so I can, I don't know, I believe you. I just want to make sure we have the exact.
Here, right here. Yeah, and it's not racist to say it.
Probably.
And when I go...
This is what happens when I show him the fact that 89% of the people who have been charged for fraud in Minnesota are Somalians. This is what Andrew had to say. But remember, he conveniently left this out of the interview.
89% of those charged in connection with behavioral white identified as Somali Americans.
Well, looks like we've got to redo there.
I'm interested to see what you put in this interview because it
Looks like there is a problem with fraud.
So there you go. That's just 2 examples from the interview with Andrew Callahan where he literally went out of his way to try and make me look bad, which is not cool. And I wouldn't say that's very benevolent of him to do by any means. But I promise you guys, if I ever do an interview with anyone, you're going to get the full product because I think that's just the most benevolent thing to do. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed and you guys were able to see through what I just showed you. Full interviews up on my second channel.
Okay, Nick Shirley getting it in, man. Nick Shirley's getting it in. All right, Chad, we finna move on. Let's get into the Don Lemon, man. Let's get into the Don Lemon, man. Oh, before we get into the Don Lemon, Mom Dunny's making his way through New York City. He's opening up new public bathrooms. Chat, does your city need some more public bathrooms, chat? Yes or no in the chat. Would you feel better if your city had more public bathrooms?
You ever find yourself wandering around the city with no place to go?
No matter what you do, how old or young you are, what borough you call home, you've been here before.
A sudden stream of thoughts fills your mind like a waterfall. Might seem like a laughing matter, but...
Public restroom access is a real issue here in New York.
And one we're committed to solving. That's why we're proud to announce not just the construction of a new automatic public toilet right here in Harlem at 12th and St. Clair,
but also a new pilot program to make it easier to build new public restrooms all across our great city.
In the past, building these kinds of facilities have faced a number of obstructions.
But we've worked to find a way to get these free public restrooms passed and built.
We'll do this by partnering with vendors to make modular facilities, which won't require subgrade hookups, which means fewer steps to approval, faster construction, and more public bathrooms across New York City, which means relief for all New Yorkers.
So rejoice, every New Yorker who's up here around 12th Avenue and St. Clair.
A better solution is coming soon.
Okay, man. You said new homeless shelters. That's what they're gonna be, new homeless shelters? All right, let's get into the Don Lemon shit, man. Let's get into the Don Lemon shit, man. All right, so here goes Don Lemon, you know, backpedaling. Like we said, the DOJ says that they got their eye on him. They were talking about charging him under the KKK civil rights something, man, about a church raid. So Don Lemon ass is in trouble, man. His ass is in the hot seat, man. I don't know, but this is his response.
MAGAs are losing their mind over something that's not even true. So let me just make it clear, because this assistant attorney general, I don't know, gosh, what's her name? Something Hammett, Gillen or whatever. So I had no affiliation to that organization. I didn't even know they were going to this church until we followed them there. We were there chronicling protests. Once the protest started in the church, we did an act of journalism, which was report on it and talk to the people who were involved, which included the pastor, members of the church, and members of the organization. That's it. It's called journalism. First Amendment, all that stuff. For all of you people who believe in the First Amendment, absolutist, there you go. So why don't you talk to the actual person who is in charge of the organization?
Well, the person who's in charge of the organization tagged you and everybody else that showed up and had an ounce of a name in that damn Facebook post. And we seen it, Don Lemon. So they made it seem like you was one of the damn organizers. I'm not going to lie, Don Lemon. I know that you probably didn't know exactly where the church was at. Now, when Don Lemon says he didn't even know what church they were going to, I believe that because this is in Minnesota. He's not from Minnesota. But did he know they were going to a church? Probably, you know what I'm saying? But did he organize this event? Did he choose that church? Hell no, Don Lemon's not from fucking Minnesota. But you got the biggest name on the damn card, so Don Lemon, your ass in trouble.
And whose idea it was to have the protest at the church before you start blaming me for stuff for which you have no idea. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
What do you think of this? I mean, this is unacceptable. It's shameful. It's shameful to interrupt a public gathering of Christians in worship. So, but there were folks who will say, I have to take care of my flock. Okay, but listen, we live in there's a constitution and a First Amendment to freedom of speech and freedom to assemble and protest. Yeah. We're here to worship. We're here to worship Jesus because that's the hope of these cities. That's the hope of the world is Jesus Christ. I want to be very respectful. Please don't push me though. We're here to worship Jesus. Yes. That's why we're here. Yeah. Okay. That's why we're here. Okay. That's what we're about. Don't you think Jesus would be understanding we're about and love these folks? We're about.
No, Dom did know. I don't think Dom knew the area. Like, Dom's probably not familiar with the area and the specific churches. But there is a clip of Dom starting his stream, and he's saying that he just linked up with the local group, and they're about to go do a surprise pop-up. He said it out of his mouth. He was like, this lady, she's known on just showing up and surprising people and putting them on the spot. So we're about to go do one of those right now. I can't tell you guys where we're going. That's Dom's words. Don's words. He said, I can't disclose where we're going. So he knew where they were going, but he really didn't know, if you get it. Like, they probably told him, but he don't know the fucking area. He's not from Minnesota. That's like, you know, going to somewhere across the country that you've never been and somebody telling you, hey, we're going to go to this church. You don't know where the fucking church is at. You just know not to say it on live. And Don showed enough courtesy not to drop the church's name on live. Probably for security reasons. But yeah, he knew that they was finna go pop up, and he alluded to knowing what kind of pop up it was finna be because he said that he can't tell y'all right now. So he knew, but he didn't organize it. I don't think he organized it.
About spreading the love of Jesus.
But did you try to talk to them as a
No
Christian?
one is willing to talk.
Okay.
I have to take care of my church and my family, so I asked if you actually would also leave this building.
You don't want us to
Unless
chronicle
you're
what
here to worship.
happened?
Unless you're here to worship.
I'm always worship. I'm a Christian.
We're here to worship. We're here to worship. Okay.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, that's one clip. Hold on, chat. Here goes another one where he's actually talking to some other churchgoers. He said that he talked to the congregation and he talked to the pastor. We just seen him talk to the pastor. We're gonna check out a couple clips of him talking to the congregation, and then we're gonna watch the actual news clip about him. What the hell is going on? Hold on, chat. Here we go. Double tap the screen, shut the live out. Here it goes though.
I don't necessarily agree with everything that's going on in the Twin Cities right now, but I don't think it's good to fight fire with fire. I think it's good to speak up. I think it's good to approach.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, chat. Like, just call me country bunking or something, but something just doesn't sit right with me with them just storming in the damn church, like interrupting service. Like, this shit could have waited till after. It could have been like this shit in the middle of service is crazy, man. In the middle of stopping service to protest and chant is crazy enough. But interviewing in like this supposed to be either praise and worship or the sermon going on. And this man has a damn microphone in his face. Crazy, bro. Distasteful as hell, bro. I'm just gonna be honest with you, bro. Like, damn. Nick Shirley was fucking tripping trying to go in them daycares too, bro. Like, if we're gonna call Nick Shirley out about going in them daycares, bro, I gotta say something about Dom Lemon. Like that, you gotta wait till after the service, bro. You gotta wait, man. Now, y'all could have been on the church doors now. You could have been waiting outside now. But walking up in there 25, 30 people deep, taking over the service, that shit's beyond me, bro.
But I think it's better to do it in a peaceful way. I don't think the answer is going into God's church.
You don't think this is peaceful?
You said, and I'm making money off of it. I'm not making money off of it yet. See, I'm live right now and I haven't got a damn donation. But after the live, when this shit is a playback and the ads and shit start popping up, I'll be making money then, for damn sure. Are you talking about Don Lemon making money? Don Lemon for sure making money.
Well, it's trespassing.
Somebody fighting.
It's trespassing. How would you feel if I went into your house and I started yelling?
It depends on what I did, but not in my house. That's a whole different thing. I think these people would go inside of anybody's house.
Well, this is a house of God.
Which makes it everybody's house.
Yes, it is.
Man, it's just certain shit you don't do. Like, even the drug dealers turn their music down when they ride past the church, chat. Like, let's just be honest. I'm from the South, man. We gonna keep this shit a buck in here, man. A drug dealer might sell some shit around the corner from the church, man, risking a 15-year enhancement. But believe me, when he's riding past that church and he got them 15s in the back, he's gonna turn that bad boy down when he ride past the church. There's some certain type of decorum around this motherfucker, man. Storming up in the church and saying that this is your job is wild, bro. Wild, bro. Like, damn, man. Damn, bro.
But in a house, people don't yell at each other.
Yeah, but there's a lot of yelling in my house growing up. We still loved each other.
Listen, Don Lemon can be doing his job. I'm not saying he's doing anything illegal at this point. That's the DOJ saying what he's doing illegal. I'm saying what he's doing is fucking distasteful. I don't care if it's his job or not. I don't give a... That's just like somebody dying, bro, and you trying to go to the funeral and get a damn news story, bro. You walking off in the church while the family's on the front row and shit trying to get a news story. That's your job. I'm the damn media, right? It was a damn homicide that happened. I'm the media. I'm here to get victims and families' perspective. So if me and 25 people bust off in that damn church and we like, look, we're here to get statements from the pastor and everybody involved, man. I'm doing my damn job. Now, if they beat the fuck out of me and drag me out of that church, y'all gonna say what? Oh, he was distasteful. He shouldn't have went in there. It was a sad time. They were going through it and shit. But shoes on the other foot, fuck it. It's his job, right?
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean that yelling is the answer, right?
I'm sorry?
That doesn't necessarily mean yelling is the answer, right?
No, but I think it's the way you work things out is that you talk to each other, you disagree. Sometimes it's heated, sometimes it's not. But at the end of the day, we're all human beings. And I think maybe if the pastor would try to calm things down and say, let's all talk together.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They could have done this outside of the church, man. They could have done this in the parking lot, man. They could have done this before church, during the parking lot, or anything. Like, this is crazy, Chad. I'm just gonna be honest with you. The reason this shit went on is because of where it's located, man. That shit would have went very badly in the Deep South, man. In the Bible Belt, it probably wouldn't have went on like that in the Bible Belt, man. Somebody would have been like, all you would have heard is somebody cuss in the church. Once that first cuss word slipped in that church, man, it would all, and it all falls down, radio, and it all, I'm telling you, man, once that first curse word came through in that church, man, I'm not even going to say it. Y'all know what I was going to say. Would have broke loose in there, man. It would have broke loose in there, man. Coming up in there storming, yelling and shit, man. And it's what is it, man? The second Sunday and shit, man. They was probably just got done with announcements, man. They just probably it would have been praise and worship in the Bible Belt, chat. They would have been down there, man. It would have been, the choir would have been up. Man, somebody would have came out from behind the organ on his ass, bro.
Make this peaceful and not be so us against them.
I think that's good to talk, but then why don't we do that, right? Yeah. I don't think trespassing, I think protesting on the streets is fine, but I think there's a difference between that and then going into someone's property and then...
Man, I'm going to tell y'all like this. The audacity would have got his ass whooped in the South. Straight up. Nothing more, nothing less. The nerve, man. The nerve would have got his ass whooped in the South, bro. Straight up, man. The nerve. And would have came to church next week and had a damn fun for you. Listen, the church would have been down there bonding y'all ass out too. Man, they would have clowned in the church. Man, they would have got donations, went and bonded the brothers and sisters that cut up out, man. And we would have been talking about it next week's service, man. That's what the sermon would have been about, man. Real talk.
Interrupted our worship. This is a house of peace, and we try to proclaim that. And this stirs division and rancor. And in the end, it's not helpful. Ultimately, I believe they've lost. They've emptied a house of worship. Everybody's gone home. Their point has been proven worthless. And so, in the end, I think they lose. But more importantly, if I was to break into any of their houses uninvited, cause derision and upset according to their values, I would be kicked out ultimately. It's not a good way. I feel violated.
No, I'm not misconstruing it with a black church. Pretty things. The white church, the Latino church, man, one thing they don't play about in the Bible Belt is church, man. You would have ran off in one of the right white church and they would have drug your ass up out of there too, man. The right Latino church, they would have drug your ass up out of there, man. When it comes, man, I don't know, bro, chat. In the Deep South, they don't play about their church, bro, in the South, man. They're not playing about that in the South, bro.
I feel interrupted. I feel angry.
May I ask you something? When you were saying if you had showed up at their house, they're saying that people are showing up at houses where they're citizens without due process and breaking and entering a house. One that we saw, I've been watching from New York, with a battering ram into someone's private property, and there's no recourse. There's no, you understand what I'm saying?
This is all part of a much larger dialogue, in my opinion. On one side, are people who watch a previous administration bring 12 million people in over the course of 4 years. criminals, etc. This is another administration's corrective. Now, whether you agree with the policies or procedures, I think I could actually be sympathetic to some of the things where there have been challenges to action and decency. The detained don't have criminal.
So they're saying that this is one of the more intelligent guys that Don Lemon talked to. So I guess his connection was going low. We'll finish this clip up, then we'll get into the article.
Yeah. Convictions are criminal record. I'm not going to get into the weeds. But you should know that, though. Don't you think that's part of it? Yes, and I could also show you many opposing sides where we're also picking up the very criminals that have put Americans in danger. And I'm not saying it's pretty. I'm not saying it's not messy. I'm not saying it couldn't be better. I'm saying this is a part of a much larger dialogue in which one administration caused a great deal of chaos and havoc and danger for American citizens, and another is trying to correct that.
Do you believe that? Honestly,
Okay.
let me talk to you
Listen,
just on the
you're not
facts.
a journalist.
Yes, I am. I want to give you the facts.
No.
Did you know that undocumented people and immigrants commit far less crime than American citizens?
We're done here. We're done here.
Than natural-born Americans? You won't listen.
If you could ask
I'm giving you the facts. It is.
Give me facts. I would have a conversation.
But I can respond to you.
No.
Did
Jesus stand with the oppressed?
Because he doesn't want to listen to facts. That's the interesting thing about this, is that they won't listen to facts. No. You won't, because
when you pose as a journalist,
I am a journalist. Journalists give facts.
And then you start correcting me with facts, and don't have.
You shouldn't hear the facts.
Of course, I should hear the facts.
Who are picked up
will you give me the facts on both sides?
That is the facts on both sides. Most of the people who are picked up and are detained are not convicted. They have no criminal convictions. They have no criminal record. None. That immigrants commit far less crime than native-born Americans. So they won't listen to the facts. Anyways, these folks are still out here.
All right, chat. Double tap the screen, shut the live out. We're 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. If you agree with Don Lemon, press 1. If you disagree with Don Lemon, press 2. We're going to see what the news is talking about on it, man. Let's see what's going on, chat. Oh, no. This is Don Lemon saying what's going on. Hold on.
Some of the folks said in there, that this is... they shouldn't be there, and they shouldn't be uncomfortable, and this is our house and whatever. That's what protesting is about, is to make people uncomfortable. You may not like it, but I mean, if they went into a church, any church, you heard what some of the folks said in there, that this is they shouldn't be there, and they shouldn't be uncomfortable, and this is our house and whatever. That's what protesting is about, is to make people uncomfortable. You may not like it, but, I mean, if they went into a church, any church, you heard what some of the folks said in there.
All right, chat. I was trying to find another clip right here. But that's him saying he wanted to make people uncomfortable. This is the clip where they're saying he had prior knowledge. Chat.
The fake news magazines are losing their mind. And again, we're not going to give...
And,
All right, hold on. Let me get to the right part of it.
Chill. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
And we all have the address, right?
yes. Everybody has the address?
So they're getting the operation together. Again, this is an operation that is secret, that they invited folks out. Can't tell you what is going to happen, but you're going to watch it live unfold here on the Don Lemon Show. That is what I can say. I turned our camera off of them because they're giving some critical information here. But there we go. Everybody's ready to go. Let's go. Okay. Thank you guys for allowing me to be here. Thank you guys.
Okay.
How are you?
Good.
See, we're on. We're not saying what it is, what's going on, but...
See, now he's trying to keep it secret. See, we're on. He just gave her the heads up, like, look, we're on live. We're not trying to say what it is or what it's going to be. He's letting her know we're on live. They just confirmed that they got the address. She said, does everybody have the address? Everybody said, yeah. He turned around and said, hey, we're about to do this pop-up where it's super secret and all of this. Now he's confirming that, like, hey, look, lady, we're on live. Don't blurt out what the fuck we're about to go do. Have some damn, be smooth about the shit.
Thank you. Tell us, why are you doing this?
So
this is Nakima Levy Armstrong. She's on the show on Friday.
Levy Armstrong, civil rights attorney, longtime activist here in the community.
Okay, now this is the civil rights attorney that set it up. Okay.
And, you know, we protest and do activism in all kinds of ways. This is Operation Pull Up, more of a clandestine operation.
They call it an Operation Pull Up, and it's a clandestine operation, chat. Double tap the screen, shut a live out, chat. We're 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. I'm going to keep yelling that shit till we get to it, bro. Chill out.
We show up somewhere that is a key location. They don't expect us to come there. And then we disrupt business.
It's a key location. They don't expect us to come there, and we disrupt business. So she's letting y'all know that, look, they don't know we coming to this church, and we finna go in there and disrupt some shit, man. We finna go in there and disrupt that damn service, man. Crazy, man. I'm not gonna lie. Chat. I don't know, man. I might still be, what do y'all call that? I might still be moving too slow, chat. I don't know, man. But Don Lemon called himself a Christian. We all fall short of the glory, so I'm not going to judge Don Lemon and what he does in his personal life right now. But as far as this situation, pulling up at the church and interrupting church service to storm the church and calling yourself a Christian is crazy. His personal life aside, what he wants to do aside, just judging this moment right here only, pulling up at that church is crazy.
That is a key location. They don't expect us to come there. And then we disrupt business as usual.
Okay, so we're going to go to the operation again. We're not going to give any of the information away.
Well, Dorsey, all today he been saying he's a Christian. All day long he's been on X and on his platforms talking about how he's a Christian. I don't know. You saying he's not a Christian? Well, he says he is, man. That's why I said we all fall short of the glory, man. I'm not judging his personal life for this moment right here because I'm trying to be on topic. What he does in the bedroom is outside of this convo right here. Him saying he's a Christian and storming into the church is crazy.
Seatbelt. Don't give anything away. But we're doing this clandestine secret operation. And, they have found out some information that they want to careful. It's very slippery. Very slippery. They found this operation. They found out some inside information, right? Yeah. And so they're going to, You know where you're going?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, good. But again, this is just the beginning of this clandestine operation that they're doing here because of some inside information that they got. So this is going to be very interesting. But this is this is just very rough, off the cuff. IRL. This is a true IRL because it's not produced. We don't know what's happening. We kind of do, but we don't know how it's going to play out. Right. So we'll get to see some of the what happens after this sort of surprise.
It'd be good if you had your meta glasses on.
I do have
inside.
them.
OG Yosemite, you got a good point. You said he may have felt Christians was being persecuted. I still don't think that gives him authority to go in there and disrupt the service. I still think that some decorum should have been had. I still think he should have waited till after the service. I still think he should have waited till after the service or before. If he could have got there before, okay, it's before. If not, he should have waited till after. I'm not saying that he shouldn't have, spoken with the pastor or shed light on the situation. But in the middle of the word, is crazy, bro. In the middle of the word is crazy.
I may do that, but I don't know. Can you switch over to...
Man, I'm just going to let y'all know, man. if my mom was still alive and she found out I was involved in some shit like that, running off in the church, man, in the middle of it, man. Oh my gosh, bro. Holy. OG Plug would not be playing that shit, bro. OG Plug would not be playing that shit, bro. I might be banned from the house for a while, bro. I'm just gonna keep it honest with you, man. OG Plug might not even let me come over to the house for a while, man, if she heard I was involved in some shit like that.
And I met her now.
Damn, son, you couldn't wait till after?
We are here. Now, do you think if you just have it, I think maybe if you just have it on the church, but if they see me, they're gonna know. No?
It just depends.
What?
Don't name the location.
I'm not naming the location, but I mean, I'm just wondering if
at
you
some
see
point,
me,
the
folks inside see me.
Are the congregants really on live instead of in service right now?
No, but they'll be like, why is Don Lemon here?
Sunday morning. Sunday morning church.
Yeah, okay, we'll see.
And they'll be like, well, what else? It's Sunday, and we already said the church.
No, we didn't.
Yes, you said it.
No, I didn't.
See, we already said the church. Don Lemon saying, no, I didn't. So now, whoever's behind Don Lemon talking to them was Don Lemon like, look, I'm on point. I didn't say nothing about the church.
But I mean,
so now when Don Lemon says, I don't know where we were going, we got to use some damn common sense. Yes, Don Lemon had the location. Yes, Don Lemon knew what kind of location it was. Yes, Don Lemon knew that they were going to go interrupt service and cause disruption. All of that is clear as day. But when we say he had the address, it's different than knowing the location. You can have the address to somewhere and still not know where the fuck you at or how to get there. I'm just going to be honest with you. So he's playing on words with that when he was like, he didn't know where the fuck he was at, man. He didn't know Minnesota, but he did have all the details. He had the damn details, and somebody just leaked it that they was going to a church right here.
I mean,
I'm just wondering if you see
point,
me.
The
folks inside see me.
Are the congregants really on live instead of in service right now?
No, but they'll be like, why is Don Lemon here?
Sunday morning. Sunday morning church.
Yeah, okay, we'll see.
And they'll be like, well, what else? It's Sunday, and we already said the church.
No, we didn't.
Yes, you said it.
No, I didn't. I did not.
We were saying that church is going on during Sunday. Okay. That's what we said.
Bro. I'm just trying to figure out what's the best thing, because we just found out about this morning. I'm just trying to figure out if it's best for me to go inside so I can tell what happened. And then that's what I'm going to do. And can you just keep
what if you
trained on there?
I'm
going to take this off.
We can swap hats too.
I got it, yeah.
And then you can put your hood on too if you want, like church.
Yeah, Don Lemon ass might be in trouble, man. Your cameraman told on you, bro. Your cameraman put it out there, man. That shit is crazy. All right, let's get into it, chat. Where is it, man? Where's the clip, man? DOJ to charge Don Lemon under the KKK Act for allegedly inciting a church raid. Then they came back out and was like, basically, we just got our eyes on you.
There's a Harbor Freight store in your neighborhood.
No, the fuck it ain't. They lying.
Good morning, and we're talking about what happened at this church in St. Paul. This shows the degree to which these protests have expanded in Minneapolis, and this particular incident is now triggering a federal investigation. A group of protesters stormed and disrupted a Sunday church service because of one of the pastor's possible connections to ICE. The U.S. Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights announced there would be a federal probe over this, writing this on X. The Civil Rights Division is investigating the potential violations of the Federal FACE Act by these people, desecrating a house of worship and interfering with Christian worshipers. The White House, meantime, is considering a federal troop deployment to Minnesota with 1,500 troops now on standby. President Trump has raised the possibility of invoking the Insurrection Act if the
What's so
violent protests
curious?
there continue, and that drew a swift rebuke from the mayor of Minneapolis.
This act was clearly designed to intimidate the people of Minneapolis, and here's the thing. We're not going to be intimidated. If the goal here is safety, we've got many mechanisms to achieve safety. Right now, we have about 600 police officers, and they've got 3,000 or so ICE agents and border control. That they are now talking about deploying 1,500 military. This is, well, it's ridiculous, but we will not be intimidated by the actions of this federal government.
Now, the troops are from the U.S. Army's 11th Airborne Division. They're based in Alaska, and they specialize in cold weather operations. They are now on standby should the president order them in. Todd and Carly.
All right, Doug Lazater live for us in Washington. Doug, thank you. Let's bring in former DHS advisor and former Secret Service Supervisory Special Agent Charles Marino. Charles, thank you so much for joining us. So over the weekend, as Doug was laying out, you had the disruption of this church service where people who were praying were forced to leave. Many people across the country are going to see that as a bridge too far. There's this other viral video that shows an ICE agent speaking directly to the camera as protesters were honking their horns, saying, what you guys are doing right now, you're supporting a child sex predator who we are trying to arrest. So that video is also going viral. Just your thoughts on these two incidents as those protests are still raging on in Minneapolis.
Well, good morning. There's been a lot of red lines crossed already, both by the governor and the mayor of Minneapolis, as well as these protest groups, some originating from the local area. But as this continues to expand, many protest groups will continue to originate from outside the area and even the region as they become more organized and more disruptive. Look, unfortunately, the position of Democrats and sanctuary cities is not going to change anytime soon. They are going to continue to play a role in inciting and obstructing when it comes to the enforcement of federal immigration laws, and they'll continue to villainize ICE at every opportunity they get. This can all be much simpler for authorities in Minneapolis if they collaboratively worked with ICE, allowed them into the jails, and allowed their state and local law enforcement to work with them.
That is one thing that I do agree with the right on. I do think it would be a lot less going on, a lot less violent incidents and shit like that if they let them come get them out of the jails. That's what they do in Texas and Arkansas, and I believe Florida, those states like that. If you go to jail and you are a criminal, an illegal alien or undocumented, if you're undocumented and you go to jail, your ass is going to get an ICE hold. Put it to you like that. And in Arkansas, Texas, Florida, those states, you go to jail, your ass get an ICE hold. It just kind of is what it is. You don't go to jail, you might be all right. Those are the, and everybody's asking, like, why aren't they doing this ICE? Why aren't they doing this to the red states like this? Why is it all blue states? I mean, the red states is kind of, hell, your ass go to jail, your ass is, the ICE gonna get a hold, man. Straight up. So just, they're regular people getting the police called on them for domestic violence or a DUI or, you know, shoplifting or whatever charge it is, running a stop sign, failure to yield, anything like that, man, or no insurance and shit, man. Your ass get booked into that jail, man, they're gonna put a damn ICE hold on you. It's kind of is what it is. You don't want the ICE hold, your ass gonna have to move smooth. It's kind of like you got a warrant. I'm just gonna be honest with you, chat. I've had to move around with some warrants before in my life. You know, before I got my shit together, I moved around with warrants a few times in my life. I knew that my ass was going to jail. Like, straight up, my ass was going to jail. They run my name, my ass going to jail, man. It just was what it was. So it's kind of like you got to move like you got a warrant, man.
But that's not something that they choose to do. Instead, they choose to give unrealistic ultimatums to the federal government, saying that in order for things to be peaceful, ICE needs to leave. and that is never going to happen.
So, in light of what you just said, we have federal troops that are at the ready, in position, should Donald Trump send in the troops, the federal troops, to Minnesota.
I'm not saying it's lack of due process. See, you got to ICE. See, before you get an ICE hold, now what they do after that is, it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm not saying I'm normalizing a lack of due process. I'm saying that if we want the violence to stop, if we want people to stop having these interactions and shit, all of this crazy shit, these agents in the streets, one way to bring that down would be to shit. If your ass go to jail, your ass got an ICE hold, ICE is going to come pick you up. If they put an ICE hold on you, ICE is going to come pick you up. Because me as an American citizen, I'm just going to be all the way honest with you. If I have a hold from another county, they're going to tell that other county that they have me. It's going to be up to the other county whether they want to come get me or not. That's how, when I was incarcerated, it's before mass deportations, that's how ICE holds work. Your ass get a ICE, your ass go to jail and you're undocumented, you get an ICE hold. ICE has 72 hours to come get you. If they don't come get you in 72 hours, your ass walk out the door. If they come get you in 72 hours, you're going to have to post an ICE bond. The ICE bond was $10,000 cash at the time. If your ass didn't post that $10,000 cash ICE bond, you was getting deported. It just was what it was.
Well, I was on record here the other day with Fox and Friends saying absolutely. The conditions exist on the ground. The president has the clear authority, and the Insurrection Act should, in fact, be invoked. It has become impossible and very dangerous for ICE and CBP to execute their statutory authorities within Minneapolis. And at some point in time, the court...
I don't like what ICE is doing in the streets. I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't like what ICE is doing in the streets. But I can be honest and acknowledge the problem. I mean, a lot of people that have ICE holds and ICE could come pick them up, these certain states are not agreeing with them. The certain states are not letting them do that. So in turn, these quotas have to be met. The quotas would be met a lot easier if, your ass run a stop sign or you're driving on suspended, DUI, domestic violence, public intox, noise ordinance, man. If your ass not 1052 and they come through there, it is what it is. It's just like if you got a warrant, man. It's just like if you got a warrant, bro. If you got a warrant, how many of y'all in the chat have ever had a warrant, man? Did you move differently when you had that warrant? You knew every time you got in the car with that warrant, it was a possibility, man. It was a possibility. Now, I have seen some new legislation, and I'm sitting here saying like this legislation might be good because somebody's proposed to let the undocumented immigrants stay if they've been here 5 years or longer. So before Biden, if they were here before Biden's term, they're drafting legislation to let those undocumented immigrants stay. How do you guys feel about that? Because we hear all the time from the right, they flooded the borders, 12 million illegals, 20 million illegals. Biden opened the border. Kamala never checked on the border. So they're drafting legislation to let all undocumented immigrants stay if they were here before Biden. Are y'all with that, man? If they were here before Biden.
Also need to play more of a role here. They have boxed the president in. They have said that while he's allowed to federalize the National Guard, he's not allowed to deploy them, that he needs to exhaust all full-time resources. Well, full-time resources includes our full-time military, and that's why you now see 1,500 full-time military on standby ready to come in. But the Insurrection Act, I think we're going to see sooner rather than later.
Well, the president has put 1,500 soldiers on standby for possible deployment. At the same time, the governor has placed the National Guard on standby for potential deployment as well. I mean, if both groups of service members are deployed, who will be defending what? And what does that look like?
Well, if the president president declares.
What do you mean? I'm not finna be arguing with you, Fries. You just gonna have to wait. Here's the question: what should we do with all the undocumented people here? I pretty much just posed the same damn question in a similar fashion, man. I'm just gonna say it like this, man. Nobody was really talking about undocumented immigrants being a damn problem, honestly, until Trump came through this term, man. Everybody said the border was wide open. Kamala never checked on the border, right? So why do y'all have a problem with letting them stay if they've been here 5 years or more? If it was Biden's fault, then shit. I'm just asking, chat, posing a question.
The Insurrection Act in effect, then he takes control of both the full-time military and the National Guard. So we wouldn't have a scenario here, which we've heard Mayor Fry of Minneapolis talk about many times, where we'd have a situation of state and locals fighting with ICE agents. I know they'd love to see that happen, but it's not going to happen. I don't think you'll see state and local law enforcement ever follow that type of guidance. But when it comes to the military, we would not have a scenario where the full-time military is now going up against the National Guard because one was activated by the local government as opposed to the federal government.
Meantime, the New York Post is reporting that a socialist group here has plans to round up more than 4,000 individuals for what they are referring to as a rapid response team. These individuals are then going to protest ICE and do a lot more than protest, as the article explains. So, if they obstruct federal law enforcement, Charles, do you think DOJ needs to prosecute every single one of them in order to ultimately send a message in order to get this obstruction to stop?
Yeah, I've got to say, like I said, the red lines have been crossed, especially in Minnesota. I believe investigation should be well underway, not just being looked at with respect to obstruction, incitement, as well as threats against federal agents. And I think those charges, or potentially those charges, should be explored in other sanctuary locations as ICE continues to carry out their mission. Law enforcement's going to have to pay very close attention to the intelligence here regarding these groups. Many of them radical, many of them going to be aligned with groups like Antifa and others that are going to want to come and are going to want to get violent and mix it up with federal agents, because it's the narrative of Democrats that it's ICE's fault. ICE should be villainized. Law enforcement is at fault here for the situations that exist on the ground, and that's entirely false, and I don't think the overwhelming majority of the American public are buying into that nonsense.
The nation watches.
So, chat, you know me looking at things objectively, being a centrist, I don't understand why it's so hard to tell ICE to chill the fuck out, stop trying to beat people fucking ass and do it and shoot people in the face and be all extra aggressive for no reason, and tell these governors and mayors, when somebody come in your jail, man, and they got an ICE hold, man, send their ass to ICE, bruh. It is what it is. They got an ICE hold, send them to ICE, man. And ICE, get y'all ass out of here kicking everybody ass and shit. Quit beating people the fuck up, man. Why? I just don't think it's rocket science, Chad.
As New York City could be next. Former DHS advisor and former Secret Service supervisory special agent.
Both sides are so far one way or another. The right is like, yeah, kick ass ICE, beat them till they're fucking bloody and stomp them some more, shoot her ass again. And then you got the left over here like, look, man, I know you got an ICE hold, but fuck all of that, man. We finna keep you here for a little minute and we gonna let you slide out the back door. Judges and everything letting people slide out the damn back door. Nobody ever let me slide out the fucking back door, chat. I'm just gonna be all the way honest with you. When my ass was going to jail, my ass was going to jail, man. If I had to get what do they call that shit, extradited somewhere, man, my ass was finna get extradited somewhere, man. Just was what it was, man.
Charles Marino, thank you. I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And clip.
Shit.
Lemon's claiming.
All right, chat. Hold on. We finna go to Myron Gaines went doing college debates, Charlie Kirk style, about this Miss Renee Good. So let's see what he posted, man. Fair use, man. Why are my clips not copied?
I guarantee, if you were in that situation and you're in front of her like that, and you gave her lawful commands and you had the gun out, and she started going at you, you'd fucking shoot. You know
I
what's
wouldn't
funny?
use a
Women
deadly
almost
force. I would
always
use other
force
ways.
more than men do.
Or at least
when
you'd
they're
shoot
cops.
the car. You wouldn't shoot her. You'd shoot the tire to stop her. I don't
Okay,
even know why
so
I debated you,
law
because if you don't
enforcement-
view
because
me
you-
as a human
okay,
being,
as
then you know what? I hope you get no pussy for the rest of your life, and I bet your dick is a carrot.
Yeah.
If I was you, I think I'd just kill myself. So I don't really know.
A majority of women are single. What does that mean?
According to what study? You still haven't given me
Okay,
any
this
numbers.
fucking guy, man. Do I need a study to say that 1 + 1 is 2? Do I need a study to say the sky is fucking blue?
Yeah, he got that little music in there.
Today's topic is gonna... Number 1, women are stupid. Number 2, blacks cause too much damn crime. Number 3, Jews run America. 4, Indians stink. What else? 5, Asians are good at math, as proven just here a second ago with one of the with the president here. It wasn't 6 million. Awesome. Okay. So let's go ahead and go into the first person. Thank you for being patient, man. What's your name?
I'm Dan.
Hi, Dan. How are you?
I'm good. First of all, thank you for coming to our campus. My name is Dan Bitterman. I'm a senior in LSA. I'm also the campus fellow for Get This End Jew Hatred.
Okay.
And also the president of Students Supporting Israel.
It just looked like he's fucking cold, man. I'm just gonna be honest with you, Chad. It's cold as fuck out there, bro. I would not be out there dealing with Myron shit, man. I'm just gonna be honest with you. It's cold as fuck.
So my question for you is this. Many of us, regardless of political association, closely followed Turning Point's MFest conference, to which you unfortunately were not important enough to be invited as a speaker, but rather as an attendee. There you wore a shirt which is now on your hat, likely as a desperate attempt to stay relevant, wearing a Let 'em cook shirt and hat, referencing and insinuating the support for the gassing of 6 million Jews in the Holocaust, a number which you regularly and not too long ago just denied. My question to you is this. What is your response to the over 6,000 Jewish students on this campus across the political spectrum that feel incredibly unsafe that someone like yourself is on our college campus?
So, say that last, what's the actual question?
What is your response to the over 6,000 Jewish students at this campus across the political spectrum that feel incredibly unsafe that you're here?
Stop being a bitch. I'm not gonna hurt nobody. I don't know what the hell. This is the United States of America, man. Freedom of speech is a thing here. It's not Tel Aviv. If you guys don't like it, go back to fucking Tel Aviv, man. That's the reality. We got the First Amendment. That's what makes this country so great. And then we got the Second Amendment to protect that. I obviously never condone violence. I never condone any type of hatred towards someone simply because of their religion, their skin color, whatever.
What did you just do?
What was that?
What did you just do?
Well, here's the thing. I just talk about general realities, but in no way am I saying, oh, I hate Jewish people or anything like that. My thing is, because this is the Jewish tactic right here. Literally, it's if you're critical of certain narratives or if you're critical of Judaism or Zionism or the state of Israel or how they just got done doing a genocide, it's automatically you're anti-Semitic or you make me feel unsafe. It's all a Jewish ploy to try to victimize themselves, when in reality, you guys have been the ones victimizing a bunch of innocent Palestinians, and someone like me calling it out gets labeled as, oh, well, you promote hatred, blah, blah, blah. Well, look, if I exercise my voice to talk about how you guys are killing innocent children, and that makes you feel unsafe, well, I don't know what to say, because it's the reality is that Israel's that's doing a lot of the aggression here.
Well, I didn't mention the word Israel once. You walking up here twice saluted Hitler. Hitler murdered 6 million Jews, which obviously you think is sub 271,000. So how do you say that you don't support and encourage violence when you just saluted Hitler?
Well,
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Myron on some Hail Hitler shit just don't make sense to me, Chad. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Myron being the loudest voice to that, movement, it just doesn't fucking make sense to me, bro. Like, I'm just gonna be honest with you. Like, I don't know, bro.
And here's the thing. The United States, the UK, everybody committed atrocities. History's written by the victors. And the reality here is we won, so we read it in a certain way. But
sorry, is we America or the Nazis?
World War II was a horrible time, and a lot of people, millions upon millions of people died. So I just find it interesting how we only focus on this one part of World War II, and we don't focus on all the other parts of the World War II or other genocides that happened. We only focus on this, number of 6 million of Jewish people that were allegedly killed during the Holocaust. Now, let me be clear about this. I don't deny the Holocaust. I don't think that, I'm not saying it didn't happen. But what I am saying is I think the facts around it and the way that it's told in mainstream media, I don't think all the facts are accurate. And when you actually do the numbers and you figure out in the background, okay, well, there's an entire media industry behind it. There's a museum industry behind it. It's a narrative that allows them to seek victimhood anytime they're criticized. I think for political reasons, that number is used, but I don't think it's 6 million. Now, did people die? For sure. But for some odd reason, we only prioritize that. We don't talk about all the other people that died. And it's used from a perspective of advantage and tactically by the Jewish community and Zionism, etc.
What about the...
I don't know what's to this guy Friars, man, but I don't know Friars. I think you might just be a Marxist, bro. Like, are you a Marxist, Friars? Just let us know, because it makes a lot more sense if you just like, hey, yeah, bro, I'm a Marxist. Like, I'm as far left as they fucking come, man. It just makes a little bit more sense then.
Detailed records that the Nazis kept during the Holocaust. I don't know if you're literate, but if you were,
I don't care if you far left or far right, liberal, conservative, Marxist, or fascist. I just want to know.
Yeah, records that basically their enemies went ahead and said, oh yeah, but look at all these records we found. Look at this smoke chamber that's here that wasn't there before. Dude, there's so many problems with it, and to exterminate that many people in that period of time, simply put, there weren't enough ovens. So let's go on to the topic here with ICE. I understand if we have more time, we can revisit that, but the reality is, to pull off what they claim happened in that short period of time with that less sophisticated technology, it's impossible. No way. And anyone that has half a brain and can do some math knows that it's almost impossible to do it. And the way, and to gas them, that's ridiculous. What's up, man?
I'm Alejandro. I'm a student of applied mathematics here. And my question was, how can you justify sending the paramilitary squads into elementary schools, hospitals, cancer wards, farms, to round up millions of innocent people and deport them to the third world? And I'm not talking about the jihadists or the cartel members, but the millions of innocent people who just want a better life for them and their families.
Okay, I'm assuming when you say paramilitary, you're referring to ICE?
Yes.
Okay. So, and I love how you just framed the question from a progressive standpoint, calling them paramilitary, etc., when they're sworn law enforcement, but I get it. So here's the thing. People break the law when they come to the United States illegally, okay? And we haven't enforced immigration for decades. Most presidents are pussies. They don't want to enforce it.
See, that's the thing, Friars. And you starting to get on my fucking nerves. I'm just going to be honest, because I can't tell a lot right now. You're starting to get on my fucking nerves, Friar. But I don't really like Myron. You know what I'm saying? Like, just being all the way honest with you. I don't really like Myron. You talking about I'm supporting Myron. I'm watching Myron. Myron's viral right now. Myron has good content. But if we're just talking about, do I agree with Myron? No. I don't agree with Myron. I think Myron does a lot of rage-baiting shit. I just said I don't get why the fuck he's the loudest one, the main one doing the Nazi salutes and shit, like they would just fuck with him back in Germany in the day. You know, like, no. So, I don't know what's to you, bro. I don't know. I'm about ready to just damn ignore you.
Because it's considered political suicide. It's a very disliked... You got it? Okay. It's a very disliked topic politically. So Donald Trump is the first president to actually say, you know what, we're going to put our foot down and actually enforce immigration for once. And what we are seeing is the culmination of decades of kicking the can down the road and not dealing with the problem of mass immigration in the United States. And that is why there's so much backlash. But the reality is they're doing their jobs. These people are here illegally. Some of them have been here for 20, 30 years where they could have definitely did something where they can adjust their status, but they didn't do it. So if you've been here for 20 years and you didn't adjust your status, well, quite frankly, you're a fucking retard. And you probably should get sent back to Mexico where the fuck you came from. That's the reality. So people break the laws, and there's consequences.
Well, so did Harriet Tubman, so did Frederick Douglass. They all broke the law. Aren't they illegal immigrants too? How about them? They ran away. They crossed the border illegally. Shouldn't we have benevolence and humanity towards these people? How do you enforce these laws, I mean, that are just horrific? They're going to be sent back to Afghanistan or Somalia where they're going to be killed. Like, so...
We do have remedies in place like asylum and everything else like that, where, you know, people are able to put them, you know, apply for asylum, temporary protected status, etc. We do have avenues that people can stay here if they do have credible fear. But the problem is that our immigration system has been exploited extensively.
See, that's the problem, man. People can't come in here because this is not going to be an echo chamber. I'm going to watch shit that agrees with the far right shit. I'm going to watch shit that agrees with far left shit. I'm going to get called a bootlicking cuck Democrat supporter. I'm going to get called a bootlicking MAGA supporter. I'm going to get called everything because we watching all of this shit. It is what it is. It doesn't bother me. Sometimes y'all need to get out of that echo chamber. Just like the other night I was telling Corey, he needs to come out of that red room, man. When he wakes up, all he sees is red fire. You need to come out of that blue room, man. When you wake up, all you see is blue. Your walls are blue, your floors are blue, your bed is blue, the pillowcase is blue, your damn toothpaste is blue, the toothbrush is blue, the shower curtain blue, the shower's blue, your bar of soap is blue, you just dyed your hair blue, man. Come up out of that damn blue world you live in and just look around a little bit, man. It's okay. It's all right.
Committing marriage fraud, asylum fraud, all types of things. And the issue with immigration is no one really knows about this, and since it's such a complex topic,
all right, Friar, we'll see you later.
No one really wants to discuss it and or enforce it, but this is a problem that's been going on for a very long time, and what you're seeing right now is the process of ripping the Band-Aid off.
But what is the purpose of enforcing a law that is clearly unjust? Like, would you have enforced the fugitive slave laws? Like, how does this work?
Well, obviously, America is a relatively newer country compared to other nations, and, you know, we've been able to progress quite a bit, but I think comparing people that came here illegally, that are here illegally, to slavery, I don't think it's analogous. So
why?
I see your perspective where you're trying to say, well, things were legal before that were bad. Well, look, people came here illegally. We have a country to protect. We have Americans that we have to care for. Like, people coming here illegally and breaking our laws, that's not what we want. And at the end of the day, if you don't have a border, you don't have a country. So they broke the law, man.
So what if they broke the law? Doesn't the law exist to protect freedom, to protect life? Isn't this what John Locke said, Thomas Jefferson? If they aren't doing anything wrong in the sense that they're not hurting anyone, why can't they stay? You're going to send them back to get their fingers chopped off by the cartels?
Well,
what are you, a slave?
Well, only on Saturday, slave owning. But so here's the thing. This law that you're complaining about is precisely why you live in the safe environment where you can say ridiculous things like this, because we've secured the country so much, we've secured society so much where people are able to come in here and give their takes, everything else like that. So I would argue that this law that you're criticizing has created a very comfortable environment for you to bitch as you're doing right now.
Wait, that's completely unfair. How can you say, like, the farmers that are getting deported, the children in the cancer wards that are getting deported, they're a threat to me? These are, like, if you find a jihadist, send him to Guantanamo. But, like, how can you say these people who aren't hurting anyone, you're going to send them back? So how's that any different than the slave catchers who sent them back to slavery?
Well,
you said this is objectively unserious participated raid bait disguised as discourse to get attention. Not one to support it shouldn't be so offensive. What the fuck? No, Friar has been going back and forth with me for like the last 3 days. Everything I say, Friar has something to say about it. Doesn't really bother me, but it's just like once it gets to the point to where you're trying to curate my show, it's like this. I'm not going to bend, break, or forward. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. If you don't like the segment that we're doing, come back later. Friar just said, hey, I'll come back later. I didn't have any objectives. I said, all right, Friar, see you later. But what we're not going to do is curate my show. I had this segment picked out. I wanted to watch it. My chat wanted to watch it. It's not the first time we watched Myron or somebody else that's far right. You know, we watch the far left people too. It is what it is. But what we're not going to do is try to bully me into switching my segment. That's what we're not going to do.
Here's another thing. So typically they prioritize criminal aliens, right? And another issue is that a lot of these blue states that have sanctuary cities, these people have been arrested before, they've been encountered by law enforcement before, and a lot of these agencies don't do immigration enforcement whatsoever. They don't ask, don't tell. So what ICE is doing is they're basically prioritizing going after criminal aliens, and then if they're there during the course of securing an immigration arrest, and there's other people that they encounter that are illegal, those people are probably going to be taken into custody too. That's called what we call like collateral damage.
Why
right?
should they be
So-
deported though? But why should, if they aren't hurting anyone? So I have no problem with arresting.
Keep in mind, they're not getting deported right away. They're going through immigration proceedings.
So they're going to get like have a trial and then they're going to be sent back to Afghanistan. Like,
Well, not necessarily. If they can demonstrate credible fear or some other type of situation, they might be able to stay. But they do get, when they get arrested, a lot of times they actually get released, given what's called a notice to appear to see an immigration judge, because the immigration court system is its own animal.
Trump just revoked 2,000 permits for the people from Somalia. They're going to be sent back to do what? To live in hell? To live in?
To be pirates?
But, so you're fine with sending them back to be slaughtered by ISIS or whoever terrorists live in Somalia?
Well, if they're able to demonstrate credible fear, the thing is that every immigration case in every scenario is completely different. So, get arrested by ICE doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be deported by ICE as well. You got to keep in mind that we do have an entire immigration process where they can go through that.
So if you don't want to live in a hellhole, maybe in the slums of Mexico, then you can be deported. But if you, I don't know, might have your head chopped off, then we can keep you here. Like, how is that fair?
Again, we cannot save everyone. We have to put our people first. We have to put U.S. citizens first. We have to put our country first. And look, the world's a very cold and evil place, and that's just how it is. And we got to put our country first. And sometimes that means that other people have to come second and third. And this is what we're doing now.
Well, the world is not zero sum, but I'll just say that we could have 1 billion people come to this country, and we'll have the population density of like France. So there's plenty of space here, and they contribute to our economy. And I don't see why. I mean, you used to work for ICE, I know that.
Yep.
So you are the equivalent of the slave catcher who you.
See, the problem with him saying that there's enough space here and we'll still have the density of France if 1 billion people come, that'll put our population to like 1.4 billion. A lot of those lands are locked up, like federal lands and shit like that, national parks and shit. They're gonna have to crack that shit open, man. If we bring in 1 billion people with the lay of the land the way it is now, how they saying majority of California is uninhabitable or uninhabited and shit, man. Most of the towns in Texas only have a couple hundred people and shit, man. Yeah, we probably could put 1 billion people here, man, but some shit's gonna have to change, man.
Used to deport Harriet Tubman and all her friends back to slavery in the South. Would you rather live in like slums of Venezuela where they're organized slavery, which is basically what communism is, or would you rather be a slave in whatever time period? I mean, I'm just saying, you guys are morally equivalent to barbarians.
Well, I worked for HSI, so I did more criminal investigations, not necessarily deporting people. But look, like I said before, they break the law. It is what it is, man.
Well, I'm just gonna say
if
that
you're
the
here
law,
illegally, like
the law should reflect our values, and I mean, if you can't, you should be. If it doesn't, you should be amnestied. I mean, Abraham Lincoln pardoned all the slaves, even though they committed a crime. They tried illegally. I mean, I'm just saying, like, how about all these countries? How about the people who saved the Jews from the gas chambers? They committed a crime. Should they be punished?
That's a completely different situation.
I mean, if you're arguing that
you're comparing immigration, people coming here illegally and overstaying and/or committing immigration violations to like World War II. Like you're just kind of just throwing things out there, man. And I get it. You're a little triggered by ICE finally doing their job after decades of not doing their jobs. But the reality is we got laws, dude, and we have a border, and we got to protect our country. We got to put Americans first, and that means that we need to remove people that.
It's kind of crazy because, like, most of these countries, if not all of these countries, deport people too. Like, Mexico deports people, bro. Like, Mexico deports quite a bit of people, you know what I'm saying? Pretty sure Venezuela deport your ass too. I don't know, bro.
That don't belong here.
How are they hurting?
If you don't have borders, if you don't have
how about
a
all the
strong
people who contribute?
national identity, then you don't have a country.
Fine, I didn't realize we just had to say, yes, sir, we have to appeal to the laws. Like, if the laws are unjust, we should change the laws or grant them amnesty. This has been how it is. And I didn't realize we just supposed to bow down and obey every single law if it's wrong.
Well, the laws that we have created the secure environment for you to be here.
No, they haven't. Deporting.
You're able to talk right now about this.
Rating cancer awards does not help me have free speech. How does that even work?
No, what I'm saying is you're complaining about the very system that's allowed you the privilege.
I'm
right,
not complaining about the
the
First Amendment. I'm complaining about the
But
fact.
I'm saying this is a great country, and you're saying, like, oh, this is so evil that they're deporting people. Dude, we're a nation of laws. Now, just because you don't like the law or it pisses you off from an emotional perspective doesn't necessarily mean that it's not
every
the
law? I mean, should laws that are bad be enforced? I mean, do you justify enforcing the
mass immigration does create problems.
Would you have
mass
enforced the
immigration
fugitive
creates
slave clause? That's my question. Would you have enforced the fugitive slaves clause?
Okay, slavery is not the same as people coming here illegally.
Well, if you're going to send them back to Venezuela, where they're going to be
it's the complete opposite. So, where they're going to be what?
Where they're going to be like enslaved. You know, Venezuela has a modern system of slavery, and Donald Trump sending them all back there. Same in Afghanistan.
Okay. All right. Who's up next? This guy just throwing anything, trying to get it to stick.
Hi. I have a few questions for you. I'm a reporter with the Daily, so it's all right if I ask you just a few questions.
Yeah. Can we just try to stay on topic, though?
Yeah, I will.
If we just stay on ICE or, the Renee, the good shooting or anything like that.
Yeah, my first question for you is just, what do you, you said ICE did nothing wrong, so what are your thoughts on the killing of Renee? I believe her name was Renee Nicole Good.
Yeah, I mean, the loss of any life is a horrible situation, but he was completely justified in that shooting. You don't get to commit a felony and try to run over an ICE officer and, just walk away from him a lot of times. I mean, he was 100% justified in what he did.
Okay, do you mind if I ask you a few other questions about things you said in the past? Okay.
So you don't. Okay, so right. Well, just want to sit down. Yeah. So my position on that for everybody here that's listening, since that's like the trending right now, the shooting in Minnesota with Good was absolutely justified. Now, and if you don't like that or you don't agree with that, hey, the Second Amendment and law enforcement does have a duty, has the right to defend themselves, as well as they don't have a duty to retreat when they're there enforcing the law. Sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah. Do you believe women deserve equal rights?
Equal rights in what way?
In equal rights under the law, equal protections, equal rights to get jobs, equal rights to access housing, just equal rights under the law in general.
Well, I think feminism has created a lot of problems, and I don't think that men and women are equal. And I think we have completely different roles, and I think feminism in itself has created a lot of the destructive, progressive policies that we have now. The female vote has put in a lot of progressive leaders who have created issues, but that's a broad overview. We'll go ahead.
Yeah, and then also, I know a few people have already asked you kind of about this stuff, but I was told by another editor to ask you. You mentioned, we like Hitler in defending a chat. I was going to ask you, do you stand by this comment?
Yeah, I stand by being able to say what you want to say and not being pussified about it. The issue here is that we have a lot of political correctness. We got a lot of people that are soft. We got a lot of people that are scared to say what's on their mind. So when I say, we like Hitler, that's to defy the norm where, oh my God, you can't say that. And I think that was in response to a tweet from actually David Pakman, because he said some bullshit about, oh, this is so bad, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, we like Hitler, shut the fuck up. Because we got to protect the First Amendment, dude. We got to protect the First Amendment. And in order for the First Amendment to be protected, you have to be able to push the edges of the First Amendment.
Okay. Do you think Trump is deploying ICE and having them be very aggressive with protesters so that he can? Because he just mentioned, I think, that he was considering declaring Insurrection Act. Thank you. So, do you think he's having ICE be very aggressive with protesters so that he can then declare the Insurrection Act and using it as a pretext to declare the Insurrection Act?
Well, the problem is that the protesters are the ones showing the majority of the aggression, right? If ICE is there to effectuate an arrest, I'll tell you right now, and I'm sure anyone here that works in law enforcement or has worked in law enforcement or understand law enforcement practices, you always try to handle the situation at the lowest level possible with the least escalation. The problem here is that a lot of these people are impeding officers, they're creating issues, they're harboring them illegally, they're doing all types of things to obstruct the agents and the officers from doing their jobs. So they have to kick up their level of force a lot of the times to be able to properly enforce the law. The issue is that we haven't enforced immigration so long that people forget that you being here illegally or ICE have the authority to arrest people that are here illegally without any type of status.
Yeah, I think he's some kind of Arab.
Because this is something that we've been kind of delaying and procrastinating on for a very long time.
All right. Thank you for answering my questions.
No worries. What's up?
How's it going, bro? I got a serious question. So,
go ahead.
So, would you rather gay son or thought daughter?
A gay son or a thought daughter?
Yes, bro.
Damn. Yeah, neither, of course. But if I had to pick one,
you gotta pick one.
The gay son, fuck that, man. Thought daughter's the worst, bro. Okay. That's the worst. Yeah, I'd have to, because at least with my son, I can smack the shit out. I'm like, hey, man, you're not gonna be gay. So yeah, but thought daughter, she's cooked. So yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, bro.
Hey, Myron, thanks for coming. Big supporter. So I guess I'm in agreement. So my biggest questions you could talk about. I talk to people who disagree with the shooting, and I just don't think they understand force versus deadly force, and the use of force continuum. Where we do expect police officers to be the aggressors. We do expect police officers to move forward and pursue criminals. So could you speak on like why it actually is deadly force? When it comes to the vehicle?
Oh yeah.
Or why a vehicle, or what is a deadly weapon in any context of that kind of situation?
Yeah, and people need to understand, like, okay, so number one, like in the state of Minnesota, right, you have a duty to retreat. That doesn't apply to law enforcement because by the nature of their job, a lot of the times, they have to be the ones to increase, like you said, with the use of force continuum. Because if I show up, right, and the courier says, hey man, I ain't going to jail, and puts up his fist, like, it would be stupid for me to square up with him. I'll pull out my taser. He pulls out a knife, I pull out my gun. So when it comes to law enforcement, you typically have to go one level above the perpetrator to be able to subdue them. Now, when it comes to a vehicle, that is absolutely a deadly weapon. And the ICE agent actually did get internal bleeding, as much as people were saying, like, oh yeah, he hurt his like, internal organs. She just came at him at like 5 miles per hour. People don't realize that you can, even if a car that size hitting you, like that can cause some serious damage. And when it comes to imminent death or serious bodily injury, you have the authorization, to utilize deadly force and stop the threat.
Man, he sidestepped that bitch.
And people just don't understand that. So it is what it is, but you can't be committing felonies.
Right, man, but he didn't have to. Right, we could say that that's up for a court of law to decide whether he was justified, whether he sidestepped it or whatever, man. But he didn't have to, man. He didn't have to. He could have sidestepped that car, man, and she could have been arrested later on. He didn't have to.
They give you lawful orders, and then you run a car at them. A vehicle is absolutely considered a deadly weapon. Many cops get hit by cars and die. There was actually a Baltimore police officer, a female. That's a whole other situation. But she got ran over, and she died from the same exact situation. And the guy didn't even drive that fast.
What's up, Indigenous?
So yeah, this is what law enforcement deals with all the time.
Yeah, I just don't think people see that. It is deadly force, a deadly weapon. I mean, from a firearm all the way down.
Absolutely. A car's a deadly weapon, and I think people that don't see that are retarded. But, it is what it is.
Thanks, Myron. Big supporter.
No worries. Thank you.
Okay.
And guys, let's try to focus on disagreements or haters or anything else like that. So yeah. What's up, man?
Okay. Actual question.
Yep.
Would you rather get shot in the head or get freaky with your dad?
Shot in the head.
Okay. That's all I need to know. Thank you so much.
Shot in the head.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Kind of going back to the other conversation with the shooting being justified. I feel like I'm specifically kind of 50-50 in it. So I've been in law enforcement for 4 years, and I do agree that a vehicle is like something that could cause a death. But in some way, like when you have a situation, you want to take kind of down the level of like how stressful it is. Oh, sorry. I'm short. Okay. So kind of saying that, wouldn't adjustable solution would be like shoot the tire so that way she doesn't run away? Because she didn't, other than being in the vehicle, it's not a deadly force.
So shooting out tires is very maverick, and not many agencies authorize that. And I think actually for ICE, you can't shoot the tires out. So if you are gonna, shoot at a car, it's got to pretty much be only to defend yourself from the kind of the perspective that the ICE officer did. So, like, do you Are you like actual sworn law enforcement or?
I'm not sworn.
Okay, so you're not sworn. So there's not many law enforcement agencies that like authorize shooting out tires. Like typically, really reckless state police agencies only authorize that. So that's not going to be a thing. And I see what you're saying. Like, hey, look, they could have maybe dealt with it at a lower level, but you got to remember that they have to meet the perpetrator.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
We can now. You gonna have to speak up.
Yeah, I do apologize. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. What's going on? Call it to the chat. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Billy from Utah.
All right, what's going on, Billy?
Yeah, so I've noticed that you're playing a clip that's entailing Myron debating college students or answering their questions. Yeah, you should take a look at this guy. I mean, he's in the what you call the manosphere, and from my point of view, some of his views are pretty extreme, like it's outdated, going back to pre-1920s when he's advocating for, restraining women from voting. Yeah, it's just like he believes in the patriarchy system, but men should be like in such a superior position that women are pretty much second-class citizens. So, yeah, like I said, his views are pretty outdated, but he's trying to do, which is actually pretty smart. He knows that there has been a huge uprising on men loneliness, especially in the younger demographic. So I'm guessing his advertisement or marketing strategy, I should say, is to now get himself involved in college campuses where he can attract incels or whatever you call it nowadays to subscribe to his channel, boost his viewership. So a lot of these guys, these conservative figures in the manosphere, their talking points are usually directed towards incels. Now, to be fair, he does have some good points when it comes to motivating men to, upgrade their value and become higher class and society norms, so they have a greater chance of getting the women that they actually like. So he preaches a lot about investing in yourself, elevating yourself to a higher financial class, and all the basics like grooming and working out. Just trying to do your best to increase your physical appearance to its very limit. But also there's a financial aspect of it, which he encourages men to do. Is all about like accountability.
They say you're going to have to speak up some. They say your volume kind of low.
Yeah, so what I just was like, he does have some good parts, even though some of his rhetoric is toxic, such as believing that women shouldn't vote. He motivates men by saying like, hey, if you dealt a bad hand, like say that you're not a Chad or a Tyrone, that the best avenue to go is to invest in yourself and work out, like get in great shape and focus on getting like a higher education or like different streams of income, so you can elevate yourself into a higher financial tier, so you can attract the quote baddies or eye candy that you want. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of motivation, some good advice, but his views on women is kind of prehistoric nowadays.
Right.
But
all right.
I mean, it's
hold on, Billy. What it do, Jason? Yeah, let's move on to the other topic, though. How you feeling about Don Lemon, man, and the DOJ talking about charging him?
Talking about charging who?
Don Lemon for going into their church with their protest.
Oh, yes. So, I'm okay. So the First Amendment states separation of church and state. I really don't believe that it's civilized or morally right for people to, rush into church and inject their politics in that type of facility, because people go there, to have a deeper relationship with their God. And for many, it's a sacred place where, they can receive the Holy Ghost and, ask for forgiveness of their sins and, just rely on the preacher to be a representative of the Lord, to give them the wisdom from for the Bible. But to be fair, protest is, the most patriotic thing, in my opinion, that you can do in America. Voicing your opposition if you think, they're overstepping their boundaries. Just on a moral standpoint, I really think it's deplorable for people to, interfere with people's just rituals, and that's their safe space where they can get a closer connection to the Lord, and and like the Constitution says, separation from church and state. To me, I believe that you should never interject politics in church. I mean, all types on the political spectrum go there for one common goal, and that's to seek forgiveness and clean their spiritual form and get wisdom from the preacher. So
Correct.
I mean,
and then some of those old ladies, that's probably the only time they get out all week. They probably don't go nowhere all week but church. How do you think he should have handled it?
Well, I do believe they should always keep a safe distance, of course. I don't believe that people should be in, like striking distance range to antagonize people that they disagree with. Maybe if they stayed across the street and wait for that individual to come out, and then, they can be in unison and chant their discontent, implementing shaming tactics and things of that nature. But I don't believe that the protest itself should, like storm in and cause a disturbance while people are just trying to seek the wisdom of God, or, get knowledge from the Bible. With Don Lemon, he also should have waited until church service is over so he can politely ask the guy if he had some time to talk, and then interrogate him with, the controversial incidents that has been going on recently with ICE and versus illegals and sometimes American citizens. So.
Yeah, I think Don Lemon just wanted a moment, man, and it kind of backfired on him. He just wanted a moment. A Nick Shirley type moment.
Said, nothing wrong with protests. I mean, whatever you do, whether it's just a simple kneel or, marching on the street or whatever the case may be, it can be like, peaceful or to the very extreme end of the spectrum, violent. Someone is going to have fault with it, but if you're going to do a peaceful protest, just, from my point of view, just keep a safe distance. And, you can't refrain people from saying whatever that comes out their mouth, but, I mean, the obscenities and things of incidents, just make sure you back away from them. Don't shove cameras in their faces and, you know, label them as Nazi in close proximity, because, you know, for anyone, that's going to aggravate. Not saying that they should use lethal force because of that, only when they feel that, you know, they legit feel like fear for their life. But
all right, Billy, I got one more question for you. They said a representative made the proposal to where all undocumented immigrants can stay if they've been here for 5 years or more. So pre-Biden, all pre-Biden undocumented immigrants will be able to stay. How do you feel about that?
Okay, so you have to go deeper into that. Is he suggesting that they should get amnesty or keep staying in the U.S. as
they would get some kind of they would get some kind of status. They wouldn't be citizens, but they would get like.
Okay, so if we're gonna go that route, okay, fine. Grant the people who have stayed here for the 5 years or more amnesty, whatever. But we're still gonna have to address border security and targeting businesses after the amnesty part. If they continue to pursue illegal immigrants and taking advantage of cheap labor, there needs to be like a severe penalty towards that. Because if they are allowed to keep exploiting loopholes and taking advantage of cheap labor from illegal immigrants, that's still going to send a huge message from neighboring countries that, hey, you know, if I should just risk it and go through the illegal channels, and, you know, maybe one day the government is going to be lenient and grant amnesty, because we've seen this already in under the Ronald Reagan administration, where he granted amnesty for 3 million documented immigrants. Now, look at the number now. It's if you whatever sources you're checking on, it can fall in the range from 10 to 14 million illegal immigrants. So what does that tell you? I mean, there's a correlation that there has been like a huge message to for neighboring countries or people who overstayed their visas that, you know, I'm just gonna wait it out and wait for the next time a president come in and see that this issue is just a political football, wave the white flag and grant amnesty once again, and the cycle keeps going and going and going. So first, if you want to do that, sure, because you're worried about breaking up the nuclear families and people here already contributing to society, filling the jobs that desperately needs to be filled. And also, there's a great benefit to it because they're sending money to their homeland that would, you know, stabilize their family household there. So you can make up those talking points, but in order for it to for America to stop the bleeding, if you want to go that route, grant them full amnesty for the people who stayed here over 5 years. Make sure you increase severely border security. How even like build a wall for optic sense. Target the business after that who continues to exploit cheap labor. And also added what I've alluded to before in the previous conversation. Try to see what you can do in their homelands to, you know, help with boosting their economy. See if, you know, corporations can take advantage of extracting the resources, implementing infrastructure there. So, because obviously facilities have to get built in them to take advantage of the instruments they use to extract the resources there. So, that's going to benefit the construction.
All right, Billy.
Things of that nature.
I appreciate you, man. Let me get Dorsey on the line. He done called in a couple times. We at the 15-minute
Sorry for the
mark.
long-winded explanation, but all right, man.
Nah, you good, man. We just had hit the 15-minute mark, so I'm going to get Dorsey a call, man. I appreciate you, though. Thank you for your continued support, man. We'll hear from you next time.
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
What's going on, plug?
What it do?
Oh, nothing much, man. I'm looking at, his little show and so forth, man. I'm shaking my head, man.
What?
Don Lemon know he ain't no damn Christian. Can't be no Christian be married to no man when you a man.
Man, let me find the clip where he said he Christian.
Man, I seen him when he said he Christian. He said it 2-3 times. What's lying ass? Don Lemon, first of all, he ain't got no shame in the game. You know what I'm saying? Because, first of all, now, like I said, I don't give a shit. If you want to go demonstrate in the church and all that, hey, fuck it. Like I said, half some people probably don't believe in Christianity anyway. So, that's cool. But then you're going to come up in a church, then you're going to claim that you Christian. Man, if you don't get the fuck out of here with that dumb shit, don't fake the funk. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? He could have caught that man somewhere else.
Don Lemon told the pastor he was Christian when he was talking to the pastor.
Man, he told a damn lie.
He did.
Damn lie. You ain't no damn Christian, nigga. The Bible say you can't be with no man. So what are you talking about? And that's even in the New Testament. You forgive everybody. But you still gay, nigga. And that's against the moral codes of the Christianity.
So you ain't never had a gay pastor?
Hell no. I'm going to tell you what happened one time, okay? I was at this Lutheran church, right? Cool church. I mean, I get along with everybody, a bunch of old folks and so forth. They cool and shit. And they brought in this, the pastor, he was cool, but then he brought in this other little pastor who tried to say that homosexuality didn't happen till 1860s, right? And he said that homosexuality was okay, by the church, right? I looked at that man, I cussed that man out and got the fuck up out of there. I ain't never been back since. And I was cool with everybody, but hey, and then a lot of other people quit the church too because they like, man, what the fuck? And the dudes are like, one of them type of people, you know what I'm saying? Them PDF people, yeah. So no, that's why, like I said, the churches are a fucking joke nowadays. On with the media, what's supposed to be the news is now a bunch of just bullshit. So, no, Don Lemon. I'm not no real Don Lemon fan, and I'm not no Don Lemon hater. But what I don't like no liar, and I don't like no hypocrite. And Don Lemon, you both. You can't be, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. And I ain't got nothing against people who, decide that that's the way they want to swing. Hey, swing on, sweet chariot. But don't come up here defiling, the name and so forth. That's why I'm a follower of the Nazarene. Because, you can't fake the funk with us. We gonna get on you about it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then if the old boy really felt like he was offended by Don Lemon coming in, invading his church, his domain, he should have punched the shit out of him.
Caller, I'm gonna call you back after this call. All right, Dorsey, how you
Yeah,
feel?
like you said, if you know, if they had came into a southern church and so forth, you know, people would have stood up for their pastor and so forth. But if the pastor ain't gonna stand up for himself, then I mean, I'm not gonna sit up there and fight because the pastor should have smacked his ass. I remember one time I slapped the shit out of a dude with a Bible. It was a
You tripping.
987 page
How
Bible.
you
too.
feel? How you feel about the immigrants staying if they've been here over 5 years?
I don't give a fuck if you've been here 10 years. Get your ass up out of here.
Why you say that?
Because, first of all, if you're saying just an immigrant, right? Okay.
Undocumented.
If you're saying an illegal immigrant, no, I don't care if you've been here 35 years. You got to go. And as far as with immigrants, you know, they come in here with them fake-ass stories talking about they was prosecuted in their country and all that shit. Like the Somalis, right? They came in here talking about they were being prosecuted and all that.
Persecuted.
And then 30 years later, they still talking about they afraid for their life. No, nigga, you gotta go. You gotta go. That goes for the people who talking about the cartels is after them. That goes for the people who say they political prisoners
They
and all
said
that other
they
shit.
said they said last year you weren't saying they had to go.
Last year,
Yeah, they said you weren't worried about the Somalis leaving last year.
I didn't know the Somalis was stealing like motherfucking gypsies and shit neither. Shit, what the fuck you talking about? Once I find out I'm supposed to, you got me fucked up. If I find out you done did some bullshit, no, hell no, I ain't finna. You see where I'm coming from? Hell no, I ain't finna stick
So
right
that's
beside.
why they gotta go.
They gotta go.
So is it only the ones just convicted or all of them?
All of them.
That's crazy.
Hey, what you mean I'm crazy? Hell, it's called a conspiracy, right? If you help somebody steal the cheese, you're guilty. If you spent some of the cheese, you're guilty. That go for the kids too. I know your mama told you to go lie and tell the judge that you got mental problems, but you lying. So you take your little demon ass with you because you told that lie 20 years ago. Nigga, you 30-some years old. Come on, nigga, you gotta go.
Oh, shit, man. Who is this calling, man?
Remember when my mom tried to get me to
I'm
get
gonna
a
call you
check one
back.
time?
I'm gonna call you back, Dorsey. Let me see who this is, man.
Okay. You know Dorsey make him call, man. All right, bye.
Call from
Jason.
Oh, this is Jason.
accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Jason, what's up?
What it do, fool?
You wasn't trying to hear Dorsey? You said, fuck that?
No, I agree with some of what he said, but not all. If they were here before the Bush administration and they had started the due process, we're going to kick them out.
Why the Bush administration? Because that's what? 2000, that's almost
when the
20 years.
floodgates was open. That would be my ground zero. Anybody who came in when they just opened the borders and any ethnicity from Latin American to Asian, because they were coming through on all sides, north and south. They just was making a big deal about the south border, the southern border. But if they had already been here, like say they got here before Eddie Bush, kids became part of DACA. You understand what I'm saying? In addition to trying to do the due process, not just stay. Yeah, if they undocumented, they working, but they getting paid up under the table and all that other crap. the ones who were trying to do it the right way. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? Where they go and they take the classes, where they learn more about America than we do. Tell you the truth. Yeah, they're cool, but the ones who came running in when everybody was like, there's no control of the borders, everybody and their mama coming in, and no, not just the ones that was crossing the fences and across the Rio Grande, but the ones that were being televised, non-exempt. And then, as far as up in Wisconsin or wherever the hell y'all, Minnesota, Minneapolis, wherever, the ones who didn't do anything, they don't get got. But the ones who got their hands in the pot all the way up to Congress, Senate, they got to go. Or they go to jail. Either way, they got to go. Now, what was going on with Don Lemon? Why was he in somebody's face?
They said that the pastor was allegedly the field director, the director of the field office for ICE. So they went in there because the pastor of the church was working with ICE.
Let me get this right. So they mad at this man because he had a day job?
And it was ICE. And he was the pastor. Yup.
First of all, my day job has nothing to do with me being a shepherd. And if I'm just doing my job, which is following federal legislations and laws, blah, 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 get out my face. And no, you have no ground to stand on to bring political propaganda and or anarchy into the house of the Lord. Met up with dude outside. Somebody said in the chat, all of the people just came inside because it was cold as hell outside. You got to deal with the consequences if you're protesting. You can't go, because, wait, don't most churches have what is that, LN1C?
They have a what?
What is that paper that most, that number, the tax exempt number?
Oh, 501c?
That makes it federal property. You understand what I'm talking about? Yeah. So now, you just trespassed, like someone said in the chat. You're going to jail. You're going to jail for trespassing. And now, dude shouldn't have put his hands on John if he got in his face. Just use the law. Because then it makes him look bad. Understand what I'm talking about? Say the system. I feel persecuted. How? Doing my job. So to be associated with ICE is not a hate crime. I don't feel safe. Now I'm going to sue you. You don't have anything. Now you won't have anything. Oh, I haven't been able to talk to you in a minute. Like old girl who got shot. Brushing against the dude that was standing in front of her as she was being told to drive and get out the car. Like they say about that, comply. She shouldn't have had her ass in the street like that in the first place with somebody outside of the car who was getting ready to get in it.
Yeah, but they
We're
didn't
going to
have...
talk about the officers. We're going to talk about the lady that's outside of the car who's now trying to sell the car. Another story. But if y'all were just together, talking out the window, that's one thing. But y'all are obstructing shit. Not to be anarchist.
What did she obstruct?
Well, the way she was positioned in the middle of the street, even though people could get around her, she was
She waved them around, and not only could people get around, she was waving them around. The first car went around her.
Actually, there was one car that went around her and one that went behind. It looked like she was trying to turn around, but I heard that was a one-way street, so that knocks that out. Then you have federal officers who come up, although they do have their face covered, but there's stop the street.
Correct. But what I'm saying is, though, she waved them around. The officers that jumped out of the car had just seen the SUV go around her that she had just waved around. She had no interaction with that set of officers prior to that. So they did jump out and ran up on her, but they could have very much well just went around and maybe she would have, she pulled out.
This is also true, but now you have, like I said, you have the passenger who's outside of the car antagonizing. You have the driver who is nice nastily antagonizing the officers, and then she freaked out, she gunned the car, and she tried to drive away.
She did not gun that car, bro. She did not gun the car, bro.
No, I'm saying she still she put her foot on the accelerator because she didn't idle away. She did drive away aggressively, not to the point of, oh my God, I'm going to die, because he could have backed the hell up. Because there was a cop on the side. He was by the driver's headlight.
Man, if he didn't have his damn phone out doing all that extra shit, he could have got the fuck out the way without shooting that woman in her face. Straight up.
See? Just like, there's a story of an officer who, young boy, accident, got off. They're trying to get justice. I saw that story the other day, like yesterday. I think it was in North Carolina. Young black male involved in a traffic accident with an officer in the law. It's been a very busy New Year. It ain't even February yet.
Not correct. My thing is, he didn't have to shoot her, man.
No, he did.
It could go to court. Now, I'm not saying if it go to court, it could go either way, And that's all I said was shit. If it was a regular officer, city cop, sheriff, he would have had to turn in his badge. He would have got a paid leave or unpaid leave, and shit, it would have went to court.
He's not supposed to shoot if they're driving away, right?
I'm just saying, period. Once that weapon was fired, he was gonna be off duty for a while, and they was gonna be investigating and seeing what's going on. And if it was brought to court, shit, it was gonna be either he was gonna be found guilty or innocent. That's what due process is.
Yeah, perhaps manslaughter and or murder. Not murder, probably manslaughter. But then they would charge her if he had got hurt with vehicular homicide, right?
Correct. It all should be going into court because they say the girl that you're talking about that's outside of the car, they're saying she had a camera angle too that nobody has seen. So if it goes to court, all of that would be subpoenaed and shit. May all truth be revealed. If everybody wants to know the truth, everybody should see, everything, have it played out, the legal, they'll have a defense there and have a prosecution there. Shit.
So what is the story about a cop shooting somebody in the back, a young guy running away in the back? I saw that on the Young Turks.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I get tired. I'm almost desensitized to this shit. I see it on YouTube, and I just keep scrolling. You know what I'm talking about? It fucks with my soul.
I I'm just saying, like, that's crazy, man. The way he sidestepped it, he didn't have to shoot her. And I think the one that you're talking about, you're talking about in Washington or Oregon or Washington. I know what you're talking about. They said it was allegedly a gang member and a prostitute, and the prostitute had already been involved in a shooting earlier that year. I think I know what you're talking about. They ended up shooting him, and he ran in the house and barricaded himself in the house. I know what you're talking about.
I mean, like living in Chicago, right? You hear all the stories, blah blah blah. It's bad, but it's not that bad. But what the fuck? It's bad in St. Louis. It ain't that bad. It's bad in Memphis. That bad. You know what I'm talking about? You end up getting desensitized to the shit. Like, what the fuck? And on top of that, I steady turning the screws, making it hard from the top down. Know how to struggle when you fucking can't find no work, and if you get some, they gonna work you till you damn good.
Yeah, it is crazy out here right now, man. But yeah, Jason, we finna jump in the Discord. There's already some people in the Discord, so we're gonna jump and hanging out in the Discord for the rest of the night. I'm finna go grab a bite to eat, and we'll be back in the morning, Jack.
Sandwich or some nuggets?
Man, I don't know, man. I'm finna get to looking around, see what's to it, cause I'm kind of hungry.
At least you made it through the chat instead of going to sleep.
Yeah, nah, I can't. I ain't really been to sleep, but one time on this single live, one time I fell asleep for like damn near 30 minutes, man. They said my mouth was open. People said I was dead in here.
Yeah, good times, old times, goddammit. If you don't see me in Discord, just know I be ghost watching sometimes. Oh yeah, man. Chat. Watch your mouths. We will snipe your ass this quick. Yeah, we as fuck.
Alright, now, Jason.
Now, Jason, put somebody in timeout. What do you do? You was talking shit, plug.
Alright, now, Jason, man. We'll see you on the next one. Alright, chat, man. We had a good show, man. I know a lot of y'all didn't like the Myron clip. It is what it is, man. Like I said, do what Friars did. Friars said, man, I'll be back later on when y'all talking about something else. He didn't make a big deal about it, man. Came right on back. That's how you do it there, man. Double tap the screen. Share the live out with 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. We're going to go hang out in the Discord for a while, chat. It's a few people already in there. If you're not in the Discord, go to my community tab wall. You'll see the Discord on my last post. And I'll see y'all on the next one, chat. Good night.